Scott, I'm sorry, just to backtrack, but I was just talking to Anthony about Dylan Payton. You know, going up against these guys and hanging in there and just, you know, I mean, I give the kid a lot of credit.
Yeah.
You know, he's not, you know.
He's outmanned. He's outmanned, and he's fighting hard, and he's not at that level yet. And that being said, though, that's the one thing we're trying to create is some depth. You know, that's the one thing I think we're not where we need to be yet. Obviously, you know, we're not at a Big Ten level yet. But he's fighting hard, and we, you know, we got to get him to compete, and got to get him, put him in situations where he's not giving up points, things like that. I mean, if he's going to wrestle, you got to make sure he's, you know, able to compete at a high level. So we got to do a better job of developing guys like that and going forward. But certainly, it's a depth issue, and Parati being out, you know, obviously that's one of our big guns, so doesn't help.
Scott, 2 years ago it was 34-0. Wasn't really competitive. Have you taken any solace in winning a couple matches and being a little bit more competitive?
I don't believe in moral victories. I mean, I knew we were up against it. I'm not, you know, I'm a realist. I understand it. It's good. It was exciting to see those two guys win. I thought 25 and 33 would be a lot closer. And then there was a couple that got away from us just getting turned on bottom. That can't happen at this level. So I guess to go back to your question, I'm rambling a little bit. Do I take anything? You know, we got 2 wins, and that's good. Good for those guys. You know, they continue to wrestle well, and or at least smart. I don't think they wrestled their best tonight, but stay hot. They won, and move on and try to get one Sunday.
Scott, halfway through the Big Ten, you knew it was going to be a gauntlet. Everyone, the kids knew it was going to be a gauntlet. Halfway through the Big Ten schedule, I mean, what do you take out of the first half of that schedule?
Well, I think the most important thing is you got to remain positive. We knew what we were up against. We knew some of our guys aren't ready to go. You know, they're not, you know, guys like Andrew, they're not ready yet. Vizicaro, he's not ready yet. You know, I mean, you could do so much preparing in the practice room, but until you're facing the competition, you know, you're coming out, you're wrestling maybe the 4 best teams in the country. And there's some others that could be in there too, but you know, they're just not ready. We need to remain positive, and I think we'll do a good job of that. We have to remain positive and get these. All it takes is one big win. It takes one big win, knocking off a national ranked guy, and your whole season can turn. And that's, you know, Kenny Theobald, you know, took a drubbing against Iowa, drubbing. And here he is now, he bounces back, he's won 3 in a row. So all it takes is one snap out of it. This staff needs to remain positive. More importantly, probably our guys need to remain positive and believe in it. You know, Phil Bukukis needs to remain positive. He'll get the #1 kid in the country against Nebraska. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, but through the whole thing, remain positive. Understand you've wrestled the best guys in the country, and let's move forward. But that's got to be our mindset, and have a short-term memory, put some things behind us.
What do you see when you're looking at Andrew right now? Now, he's beaten this kid before that he wrestled tonight. Is he making progress that you see?
I see right now. I see someone who's fighting some things. Whether it's a weight issue, whether it's a conditioning issue, whether it's a fear of failure. You know, it's hard for him. It's been a long time since he's competed, and it's not an excuse. It's just he's not. You know, he's not where he needs to be, and he understands that. But you can't quit on it. You got to, again, remain positive, and that's a hard thing. He wants to win. He He doesn't feel real comfortable right now, and you know, he's got to find it within him to get one. And hopefully this weekend he gets one, and maybe that stirs it. But no, I don't. You know, obviously we've seen Andrew wrestle a lot through the years. He needs to get back to that spot. And our staff needs to help him, and he needs to help himself, probably more importantly. And I kind of explained this to him last night. Just wrestle. Forget everything else. You've already hit a point in your life where it's really, really difficult. We're coming back from it. Just wrestle. Try to have fun.
Do you think he needs one win? I mean,
I'm hoping one can trigger it, but the reality is he's going to face some really quality guys. He needs probably a big win, but one could trigger it, you know. And I think if he wrestles himself into shape, that'll help. But he's got to remain positive.
Got the crowd, 6,000 fans.
Yeah.
Did you ever take a minute to soak it in?
I did. It was pretty cool. There's got to be more than 6,000 people. I can't get over that. But it was a great crowd. And I'm dying to give this fan base something really to cheer about throughout the course of the match. You know, it was probably the best. And I hate to go back. You never want to go back. But one of the best environments I was ever in was the year we beat #3 Virginia Tech. We're not far off from that, but that's. that was special. It was the course of the whole night. The place had so much energy, and I'm dying to give him that again. And we just got to reach a certain level. We just got to keep getting better. And I know it's going to take some time, but we'll get there.
Coach, what can you say about Vizcaya? Last time he wrestled in a dual meet for you was against Drexel last season to close out the season. So how hard is it just for him to get back in?
Yeah, he's had a tough road. He's had some family issues he's been facing, and he's had a tough road for sure. And it's good to see him back wrestling again. He's in a good spot right now, and that's most important. So I'm excited for that. Now the wrestling part of it, I want to see him not get turned. He's in the match. If he doesn't get turned, he can't get turned at this level and expect to win. So, but it is great to see Nick wrestling again, and it seems like he's having fun again. And this is a tough sport, man. This isn't for everyone, and he stuck it through with us, and he's been with us for 5 years. It's good to see him get an opportunity, and let him wrestle himself into shape. I know he's into his conditioning. He'll get back in there, but it's good to see him back on the mat.
What about Anthony Bafumi? What'd you think? I mean, I'm not sure if he had wrestled before.
He wrestled out in Illinois. He struggled tonight. He struggled on bottom. That's our big. It's an issue we address. We're struggling on bottom, not just Anthony, but our whole team is struggling on bottom, and that's an area you can't lose. You just can't lose that position, and we're losing that position well too often right now. So that was a little frustrating. Anthony's got more. He scores a takedown late. You got to score first. We got to get to these guys. I've said it over and over again. We got to get on these guys first. You're watching the best teams in the country. There's no secret what they're doing. They're getting to our legs and they're scoring the first takedown.
I think you got the first takedown of the night, right?
Yeah, against McCabe. So the majority, I'd say 90% of the times, you get the first takedown, you're going to win the match. So it's got to be something. Obviously, that's something that was stressed after their loss to Ohio State. That's something that was obviously stressed.
And then what's the timetable for Pride to come back, and then Gravino also not being in the lineup tonight?
Yeah, Gravino will be a couple weeks. It's a nagging injury, and it just keeps coming up, and he gets healthy and it gets worse. It gets healthy and it gets worse. He's fighting it hard, so I don't have a timetable on him. I like to think Parati will be back for Nebraska. If he can't go Sunday, it'll be Nebraska, I would say.
Got to bounce back. Maryland, I'm assuming you get on the bus tomorrow. And,
Yeah.
You're in position for that.
Yeah, we'll get in. We'll work out tomorrow at 12. We'll get our weight down, get a nice bus ride down, and then, this is a match we want to win. It's important for us to have a Big Ten win. We got to get a Big Ten win, and that's the focus. It's and nothing against Maryland, but they're not 1, 2, 3, 4 in the country. This is a match where both programs are at in the conference. I think it's fair to say we're both fighting hard right now. We're both up against tough schedules. I'm sure they really want to win this one. It's one they think they can win. It's one we think we can win. So, and that's my message to the guys tonight was these last 4 are over and done with. Let's really be enthusiastic and fired up for Sunday, and let's get a Big Ten win, something to build on. And then I feel good about what we have coming up. I feel good about the schedule the rest of the way. Obviously, Ohio State, now could be number 1. I don't know where they're going to be, but everybody else we can certainly compete with.
I don't know as a coach whether you have disappointments in terms of what you're seeing from across, but I think there was a little disappointment about Jimmy Clausen not coming out. I don't know, you're worried about winning the match, but
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know who's their guy. Billy's got to score a point, score a takedown, so he's got to do a better job there of, so I didn't really care who.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be Gingrich, to be honest with you.
What positives do you plan to build on in your match against Maryland? Obviously, your last 4 opponents have been top 5 teams in the nation. Now against Maryland, coming in at 5-9. What positives can you focus on from the last 4 matches?
That's a really good question. That's a real good question. We can compete with these guys. We can compete with these guys, and that's what I'm going to build on. I'm going to build on the fact that, Phil Bukukis has wrestled some of the best guys, and now you're not going to get a national ranked guy. So what has been done to you, now you go do it to this guy. So, and that's with all of our guys. That's my focus is now let's impose our will on the Maryland team or whoever we're wrestling, but it happens to be Maryland Sunday. So, but there's some positives. There's some positives. Let's find a way to win close matches. Let's not give up the first takedown. Those are all things we'll stress and we'll talk about, but until we go out and do it, it doesn't. But we have a big match for this program come Sunday. A really, really big match. In terms, we have a choice of where we can go with this program, right? And we need to do a good job Sunday, and that's about the 10 guys that we send out.
Any more questions, Coach?
Thanks, guys,
Thanks,
appreciate
Scott.
it.
Thanks for your help, Mayor.